Just like there's a long list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday. I guess she flew back from Tajikistan.
Bill Maher is calling out woke celebrities, and his take is absolutely hilarious. As the comedian and talk show host has a talent for exposing Hollywood's contradictions. This time focusing on stars who loudly promote certain ideals while conveniently avoiding any personal consequences, making his dismantling of fame's self-righteousness both entertaining and strangely satisfying.
Eddie Griffin said, "If Trump wins, I'm moving to Africa." Apparently very slowly, because in Trump's 4 years, he only got as far as Van Nuys. George Lopez once said that if Trump won, he won't have to worry about immigration. We'll all go back. George Lopez still here.
Maher's latest roast reminds us that it's been a while since he truly went after Hollywood, so fans are expecting...
Maher's latest roast reminds us that it's been a while since he truly went after Hollywood. So fans are expecting sharp, no-holds-barred commentary, as he targets those who preach moral or political stances while living in a bubble far removed from the real-world impact of their words, resulting in a mix of biting humor and pointed critique that is classic Maher, funny, unapologetic, and thought-provoking all at once.
In Russia, just referring to the war in Ukraine as a war can get you 15 years in the fabulous prisons made famous by some of the world's most famous novels. You think America's evil because we didn't nominate Margot Robbie for an Oscar? Just wait till you get thrown out the window of your very own dream house.
Amidst the laughs, Maher also raises questions about political messaging that seems confusing or contradictory. As when he points out the absurdity of campaigns that say, "Vote for me because I hate it here," cleverly blending comedy with insight and leaving audiences both amused and a little unsettled.
And I'm confused by this political message. Vote for me because I hate it here. Now, does America have big problems? Yes, I've often cited the America Sucks list. Things like being 54th in the world in infant mortality behind Cuba, 19th in literacy behind Russia, 72nd in female representation in government behind Iraq. A lot of work to do here. And is it possible for a country to lose itself so much that leaving it is justified? Yes, but we're not there yet, not by a long shot, and we don't need quitters. We need people who will stay and fix it.
Bill Maher began the segment with a pointed warning to America's celebrities and progressive politicians, arguing that they shouldn't lecture the public on solving national issues if they aren't willing to do the work themselves, as it's easy to sit in lavish homes, removed from everyday struggles and make grand pronouncements. Yet words alone mean little without effort, sacrifice, or commitment. And while Maher emphasized that America remains a great nation, imperfect but enduring, he insisted that if progress is the goal, endless complaining, blame-shifting, or showy activism won't suffice. And what the country truly needs is engagement from people ready to take initiative, address challenges, and assume responsibility rather than relying on others to bear the burden.
Maybe the problem isn't that America isn't worth defending. Maybe the problem is that lots of people today are entitled whiners who have no perspective and no idea how good they have it. 59% of self-identified liberals say there have been times when they considered leaving America for good, like after NBC canceled The West Wing.
This may sound exaggerated, but it reflects reality. As over time, many Americans have loudly proclaimed they would leave the country over the slightest provocation. Most notably after Donald Trump was elected, when both celebrities and ordinary citizens claimed they'd relocate to Canada as a bold form of protest. Yet very few ever followed through, and it doesn't end there, as some have threatened to leave simply because the country rejected certain fashionable ideologies, often defying basic logic. And rather than contributing to the nation they live in, they daydream about escape, with Maher's message clear that true patriotism isn't about grand gestures or threats, but about staying, confronting problems directly, and working to improve the country's strength in America.
I don't get it. You want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave? And I see conservatives in Texas are talking secession again. They have two bumper stickers in that state. America, love it or leave it, and we're leaving it.
Exactly. Celebrities and politicians often send conflicting messages that leave their supporters bewildered. As they advocate for America to welcome more people, portraying it as a land of opportunity, yet immediately express shame in the nation and threaten to leave if things don't go their way. And when you consider the contradiction, if America is so awful, why urge others to come here? And if it truly embodies freedom and opportunity, why threaten abandonment every election cycle? It's clear this isn't conviction or courage, but pure hypocrisy, with Maher hitting the mark by showing how such contradictory talk exposes the shallow, self-interested nature of their so-called activism.
There's a long list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday.
Well, here's the ironic part. Despite all their dramatic threats, most of these celebrities remain in America, enjoying the comforts and freedoms they claim to loathe, knowing deep down that no other country can match the platform, opportunities or luxuries America provides. So their grand pronouncements about leaving if Trump ever won were never about true conviction, but about appearances, virtue signaling, and capitalizing on outrage culture, making them seem courageous to their audience. Yet when the cameras stop rolling, they stay put, reveling in the wealth and fame only America can offer. With Maher cutting through the pretense to reveal the truth that it's not bravery but performance, and the only thing they're truly loyal to is their own image.
She flew back from Tajikistan. In 2016, Eddie Griffin said, "If Trump wins, I'm moving to Africa." Apparently very slowly, because in Trump's 4 years, he only got as far as Van Nuys. George Lopez once said that if Trump won, he won't have to worry about immigration. We'll all go back. George Lopez still here. And it doesn't look like the migrant traffic is going back.
This is precisely why I can't take celebrities seriously when they lecture the rest of us on politics or morality, as their lives are worlds apart from ours, protected by the fortunes they've amassed, living in gated estates, flying private jets, and knowing they could build a palace anywhere if life here ever became inconvenient. While ordinary Americans face real struggles like haunting mortgages, draining rent, and the daily challenge of putting food on the table, making the contrast stark and showing that politics isn't a platform for showing off but about survival. Which is why we pay attention to leaders who grapple with policies that directly affect our lives, rather than celebrities whose notion of hardship is choosing a luxury resort for vacation, rendering their lectures weightless.
There's all the TikToks telling Americans things like,
I think the new American dream is to leave.
I'm 18 years old and I escaped America.
yeah. Yeah, you don't have to escape America. That wall we're always debating isn't to keep you in.
Now this is where it really becomes absurd, as some so-called social justice warriors act as if America is on par with North Korea, as though people here are trapped with no way out. Which is ironic because no one is rushing to move to North Korea to build a life, raise a family, or chase their dreams, since it's a prison state where freedom is non-existent and citizens risk everything just to flee. While the United States, the very nation these activists criticize relentlessly, remains the top destination for people worldwide. And Maher's point hits home. If America is truly so terrible, why is the entire world clamoring to get in rather than leave?
The New Republic just ran a story about the vulnerable minorities who want to flee America, including the author, a gay man trapped in the dystopian homophobic hellscape that is New York City. I wonder if he knows that there are 66 countries where just being gay is a crime. Cute story in the news last month. Burundi's president called on his citizens to stone gay people, and not in the good way. Wow, suddenly the don't say gay law doesn't sound all that bad.
When it comes to the LGBTQ+ community, the truth is clear. America is their sanctuary, as it's hard to imagine anywhere else where they would feel safer, more respected, or more accepted, benefiting from legal protections, political and media representation, and the freedom to live openly in ways unimaginable in many other nations, with platforms to voice their perspectives, communities to belong to, and rights secured by law. So the ongoing talk of leaving makes little sense, since even Europe, often seen as more progressive, still faces violence, discrimination, and incomplete policies. And the reality is that despite its flaws, America remains one of the safest and most empowering places for LGBTQ+ people, with Maher's point unmistakable that everything they need is already here.
And Uganda? Oh, they don't just give you a ticket for parking in the rear. You can get the penalty for it. In China, they have the penalty for almost 50 crimes. And in 13 countries, atheism is punishable by death, and 61 imposed restrictions on women's clothing, so bring a scarf. According to Amnesty International, paramilitary groups killed the government's critics in Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, and arbitrary detentions are widespread in Cuba, Ecuador, El Salvador, Nicaragua. If you're wondering how that's just like no cash bail, it's not.
This is precisely why more than half the world dreams of moving to America, as people from every corner of the globe aspire to build a life here because of the freedoms this country offers. The freedom to speak openly without fear of government retaliation, the freedom to pursue any career and chase opportunity, and even the chance for financial independence if they're willing to work for it. Which is the American promise and why millions risk everything just to set foot on US soil. Yet, ironically, many who already live here fail to appreciate it, being too busy complaining and too quick to denigrate the very country that provides more than anywhere else could. Like a spoiled child tossing aside all his toys just because a parent forgot to buy a new one for Christmas, completely blind to the privilege they already enjoy every single day.
If, for your exile, you do wind up in some comparatively luxurious place like Canada or Japan or the UK, not that they want you. At best, you'll be trading a bunch of stuff you hate about this country for a bunch of stuff you'll soon hate about your new home. It took me only 4 days in Amsterdam to learn that while I admire Amsterdam, I don't want to live there. The buildings are cramped and shaped like needles.
Bill Maher's critique of the woke mob cuts straight to the core, exposing how performative and shallow much of today's activism has become. As protests that block traffic, burn flags, or deface art may grab attention but do nothing to solve real issues. While celebrities and politicians preaching from lofty positions deepen the hypocrisy by condemning America as oppressive while benefiting from its freedoms and wealth. And meanwhile, ordinary Americans focus on survival, paying mortgages, putting food on the table, and commuting on the very roads these activists disrupt. With Maher reminding viewers that true change comes from informed commitment and tangible action, not empty theatrics or chasing social media clout. And despite its flaws, America remains a nation people worldwide strive to enter, not flee, a reality that exposes the emptiness of those who claim otherwise while enjoying its advantages. And with that, we close today's video. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next section.